So this here is the DK-05FX from Lian Li. It's an extremely heavy, very large, tempered glass case and tempered glass desk. It's not cheap, it's a premium product, price is here, and it had to be shipped here on a crate. I'm not sure how many other reviewers got a sample of this, but I'm really appreciative of Lian Li for giving us a shot to build in this, because I think once we get all the parts together and we assemble the custom loop inside of this thing, it's gonna be one heck of a setup. This will probably be a 3-part series. In the first video, we're gonna take it out of the box, set it up. That's gonna be a job in and of itself. Second video, we're gonna talk about the parts going into the case, or the desk, I guess I should say, and start assembling. By the end of the third video, we'll have a full setup to show you guys, including monitors on top. We'll have peripheral setup. It'll be Lisa's streaming PC desk thing, maybe. She likes a ton of monitors on her desk, and what better way to get rid of extra stuff on the desk than to literally put the system inside a desk. So here we go, round 1.
If you're sick of seeing that same Activate Windows watermark over and over, snag an OEM license from SCD Key. You'll have a fully activated OS in seconds, and you can kiss that watermark goodbye. And be sure to use menu offer code GSL for that sweet discount.
So to start, we're gonna take this box apart. There we go. What's inside? Oh, another box. So that looks like the glass top for the desk. I'm just gonna call it a desk from now on. It's probably not the safest word. Well, they call it a computer desk. Okay, so I think that's fair. Calling it a case, I think, is just a disservice to how freaking large this thing is. It's freaking huge. Okay, it's heavy, and I think I'm gonna need your help, Nate. All right, so manual. You definitely get a manual. You're definitely gonna need it because it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 8 pages long. 7 of those pages literally have to do with assembly. So we'll see how this goes. It's all right there, if you wanna show them that, Nate. It's actually not as much as it looked like it would be all packaged up in the box. So yeah, we're gonna be looking at this very carefully while assembling. I mean, look, just a leg. Just one leg weighs like 50 pounds, and it's motorized, by the way, so you can raise and lower the entire desk. Yeah. All right, so we have Velcro straps, we have a lint-free cloth, we have rubber, like just little rubber things, yeah. We have a little box of screws. There's a ton of screws, and I'm sure a lot of these are gonna go into assembly as well. Nate, I swear to God, if you give me the COVID, I will fire you. By the way, if you hear the baby crying, yeah, there's a baby downstairs. 21 pieces of this screw, which I think is this one here. We're gonna need 21 of those to secure the legs to the central frame of the desk. Ow. No, cool thing though, this central frame, whatever you want to call it, I'm sure there's a fancy technical word for it, is one piece. So you don't need to assemble, I thought we'd have to assemble everything from scratch, but it looks like most of this is already kind of pre-assembled as is, or just riveted together. It's a dual system case, or desk, I should say. So that's interesting, didn't know that. What we might do is have Lisa's gaming PC on one side and then the streaming PC on another to offload the, the intensiveness of streaming. So for a better shot of this frame, you can see we have 2 ATX or eATX motherboard mounts, one here, one there. We also have, looks like fan mounts, 120mm up to 360mm in total. Are these LED strips? We get LED strips. Off to the back here, we've got 3 120mm fans, actually 2 in the center and then 1 on each side. You have 8 PCIe slots per system. Your rear I/O goes here. 1 power supply goes here, I believe, and the other is gonna go on the other side. And then Nate, if you wanna swing over to this side, this is a dust filter for, looks like 4 120mm intake fans, so you could put up to a 480mm fan rad combo there. Now these appear to be hard drive trays, so up to 4 per side, 4 here on the other side as well. I don't know what goes on here in the middle. I'm sure there are plenty of SSD mounts as well. I don't see those, it's not apparent to me, but you could really tape those anywhere if you really wanted. Tons of cables. You even get the power cable for what I believe is the motor that drives the lift mechanism for the desk. And then Nate, if you want to swing around here to the very front. So this is kind of like your front I/O. You've got fan control, so you can set 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got the RGB control. And then you also have the power button along with, I believe this is to change the glass from a gloss to a clear, like transparency. I'm pretty sure that's what it does. This is the lift and lower menu here. So up and down, you also have presets, I believe. You have 4 USB ports, headphone jack, audio jack, USB Type-C, and on the other side, I think this is for system number 2, 2 more USB ports, headphone and microphone. I've never lost my breath explaining all the different like support baked into a case before. This is gonna be a long series.
But I'm excited.
Hey Pepsi, I know you wanna chill, but I kinda need this. Like, I desperately need this, thanks. Okay, so for leg install, if you save the box, congratulations, you're doing it right. If you didn't save the box, you're gonna need 2 more hands or another box that's as tall as the desk is. This is, you have to lower it, flatten it. Yeah, this is a problem that you run into when you don't save the box. So this should slot in like so. Okay, now I'm gonna get the screwdriver, which is over there, Nate. We can just take as long as we need, right? Now you're gonna wanna make sure you take your time here. Nice, gentle rotations. Don't be too fast about it. So there is a fair degree of cable management that kind of needs to take place before you start building in the desk. And I think this is the safest approach now because you can see there's just so many cables that need to be tucked away and hidden. I want to keep the utility cables, we're going to call them that just for the purposes of this video, out of the PC building space as much as possible anyway. So I'm going to tuck the motor cable under here. I'm going to kind of run it along the front of the desk to keep these cables out of view. So this is, I guess, what you would call the front I/O for the left system. Those ports are over here on the left side. And yeah, so I'm going to keep these out just so we know not to mix these with other cables in the system. This side's pretty much cleared out now except for these RGB cables, and we'll figure out how to run these probably along the insides here. All right, so we've cleaned out quite a bit of this, and I think it's time to talk parts. What the heck is going to go on both of these systems? Most of the front I/O connections that are beefy, like the fact that you get USB Type-C and then 2 USB 3s, those are on the right side. So we're going to probably put the streaming system on the right side of the desk, and then the left side is going to be the, or did I get that backwards? Gaming system here, streaming system here. You don't really need as much front I/O for a streaming system. So yeah, what the heck are we gonna throw into this? So we've given it some thought. My initial reaction was to throw something like a 3970X, like a Threadripper 32-core chip into the gaming side of the desk. Problem is, that kind of defeats the purpose at that point of having 2 different setups, right? If you have a CPU that can handle both gaming and streaming with ease, plenty of ease, then why would you need a second system at all? So I think what we're gonna do is stretch 2 different systems using probably a Ryzen 5 3600, just because we can in one system. And then the other system is going to be more bare bones. So probably like a Core i3. I think a 9100F is going to be just fine, to be honest with you. And we can throw in even, I don't even know if we need, this is a tough one. I definitely want to go Ryzen 5 3600 first. I think that's a safe bet. This is a 3600X. Whatever, basically the same thing. The second system, I think we're gonna go with the i3. Only because you only need an i3 to handle just streaming. And that's something that it's gonna be a little complicated to explain just face-to-face on camera. I'm gonna have to show you how it works. So we're gonna need a capture card, and the capture card's gonna handle all of the encoding. We're gonna run her system, her gaming system with the 3600X, and the graphics card is going to plug straight into the capture card on the other system. The other system will then handle the upload, the encoding and the uploading to Twitch or wherever she happens to stream, and that will totally offset any leverage that streaming would have on this CPU here. You could still stream in game with a 3600X. I'm not saying you can't, but if you can completely remove the streaming bottleneck by adding a second system, then your 3600X is just gonna have to worry about gaming, and that should give you ideally better performance in games, so you can focus just on the gaming aspects of your stream and not have to worry about the encoding parts of it, which can be troublesome, and that's why we're gonna have a separate system for it. So, yeah, I know it was a mouthful, but that's it in a nutshell. You can use two cheaper systems to achieve the same effect as one beefy system. So, let's see if we can pull it off. You know, I really wonder if Lian Li expected us to use an i3 in their like $2,000 case. So for the Ryzen-based system, we're gonna use an X570 Aorus Master from Gigabyte. Used this plenty of times in the past, and we're gonna make use of PCIe Gen 4 here because I do have a PCIe 4 drive that we're gonna put in her system. This is gonna be her boot drive for her primary system, which will be the gaming system again. I'll refer to that as the gaming PC from now on. The streaming system is gonna be the more bare bones system, but you'll see, we'll still, we'll figure it out. We'll go ahead and just, we'll just set this here for now. I also like the fact that this board is kind of black and white, kind of a neutral color scheme. We're gonna have LED strips running all the way around this thing, so it's not really important to have a lot of color in the motherboard. Also wonder what EK is gonna think when we water cool a Core i3-9100F. So we're gonna set these two here. I also have the two 360mm radiators from EK that we're gonna use as well. I think for the custom cooling aspect, we're gonna stick to soft tubing, which, oh no, that's like kind of cringe. Look, I've seen some beautiful soft tube builds before, but it's difficult to pull off because soft tubing is just, I mean, it's less effort, just objectively speaking. But I think in a desk case build like this, it's probably best to play it safe. I've been waiting to use this card from Power Color. It's been a while since we've shown a Power Color card on the channel, and this is gonna look sick. So this right here is a 5700 XT Red Devil Liquid, I think is what they call it. Liquid Devil, sorry, Liquid Devil. And it is beautiful. It's already got an EK block pre-installed, which is sweet, sticking with the EK theme apart from the Corsair fittings. And yeah, it's just gonna look sick sitting like this in the case. So let's bring this over there, see what it looks like. We'll also use a vertical PCIe mount. So what that'll mean is the card will essentially sit like this in the case. So you'll be able to see straight into it. That's gonna look freaking dope. What do you think, Nate?
Pretty dope.
Pretty dope. Now as for the power supplies, remember, one per system. I think what I'm gonna do is hit up Corsair about getting maybe like two 700-watt units. Probably gonna stick to silver custom sleeve cables. I think silver will look really nice. It'll complement that water block you just saw, and it'll also do a fair job reflecting the RGB LED lights. I think that's it. The only other thing, I'm trying to think, I'm just trying to get this stuff set up for part 2 because part 2 is gonna be the big build process. We've got the two 360mm Coolstream PE rads from EK. Again, trying to stick with that EK theme. So those are gonna go here. Well, visualize just the radiators. Here and here. A 3600X would do just fine for only gaming, and I'm trying to prove a point with this build. Like, you can reallocate your budget. If you really want an expensive case like this, you can still make it work in a dual system setup with cheaper CPUs. That's kind of the point I want to prove here, apart from the fact that we're also building in a really expensive desk. So that's about it for this one. I gotta wait for a couple things to come in. We got a message Gigabyte about getting a matching Z390 board or a B360 board for the Core i3, and maybe a second reservoir pump combo. I didn't think about that either. So a few more things that need to come in, and I'll try to do you guys a solid and just finish this thing off in part 2 and not stretch it out to 3 parts. I don't think that's necessary. But I wanted to build the case for you guys, show you how much space there is available in this desk. I keep calling it a case and a desk, but it's primarily a desk. Can you visualize 2 monitors in this? I mean, can you picture like 1, 2, and you have nothing else here? Like, your systems are below you. That's freaking cool. And then you got the tempered glass on top. You can see these little pinouts here that allow the tempered glass to shift from a kind of polarized crystal effect to a straight see-through, totally clear and transparent glass. It's gonna look dope. She's gonna have a much better setup than I am, but that's okay. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, you can consider liking and leaving a comment down below. Stay tuned for part 2 and other content here on the channel. My name's Greg. Thanks for building with me.